Oh, well, I'm pork isn't kosher though.
Hmm.
Yeah,
You win some, you lose some.
I lose fast most of the time actually. Anyway, so barracks being thrown down by TQ Wannabe. This is actually a build that was made popular by none other than Tasteless a long, long time ago. It was like his standard build on Metalopolis versus every race. And then no one did it for a while. And then recently, Marine King has actually been doing this in the GSL, which is pretty crazy to showcase such a ridiculous build in it. And Cuz is not responding as well as I'd like. He does show
No.
that he knows about the gold base, so TQ is going to definitely respond a little bit differently. Maybe even throw down a bunker or bunker rush the Protoss player. And right now we do have the Cybernetics core being thrown down. Playing very standard right now is Cuz. The income tab showing a lot of income in for the Terran player, especially once those mules start dropping. Oh geez, that's going to be a lot of income. And
Um, yeah, I love the SimCity wall off by Wannabe.
so if you were the Protoss player right now, Sandman, how would you deal with this Goldie base?
I would have probably thrown down that the double proxy gateway into Zealot Rush.
I think that's an
Or
interesting way
Cannon
to
Rush
do with
them.
it. Yeah, I do like that. But this kind of wall off is so good against that. Personally, I think I would go straight into Void Ray or Void Ray Zealot, of course, because you won't have the Marauders to slow down the Zealots at this point in time. So the Zealots could do full damage against the Marines, while the Void Ray kind of zones and uses itself to do damage on the background.
Hmm.
Eh,
And yeah, this wall off is just really, really, really nice wall off. And Cuz cannot get his Zealots in anywhere to do any sort of damage.
And the Stalker does come in right now. The Stalker is going to be able to take a lot of pot shots off at every unit available. And he's being a little too forward with that Stalker. If he loses it, he's going to have no real map presence anymore. And Wannabe taking his units off gas for a split second. Take down that Stalker. Trying to micro it back. A second Stalker on the way. Doing pretty decent micro right now. Cuz impressing me greatly. Gorp Gate is about halfway research. He does have 2 gates on the way. He's going to probably go for that 4 gate timing push since there's really nowhere for Wannabe to really wall off.
No. Um, yeah, two, three more gates. Two more gates, I mean.
This is actually a really interesting play. He's going to go for that 3 gate push. It's a strong build. It lets you do a lot of damage, but it's not really a kill build. It's really just a harassment build, putting pressure on the build. I mean, sometimes you had the capacity to kill him, but I don't think this is one of those times, especially with this wall in. And wow, doing a lot of damage to the Stalker shields. Cuz doing a good job microing, doing a little bit of harassment to that supply depot. If he takes it out of that, it'll actually be a big deal since it would
Yeah.
supply block the Terran player. Actually repairing it right now. TQ Wannabe does not want to lose that supply depot. He's kind of zoning back and forth with those Marines. And I'm not sure if Cuz is going to be able to really do too much damage to TQ Wannabe.
Yeah, it's definitely. TQ Wannabe's got really great control. With that, now the Marauders are out, so these Stalkers are slowly gonna do less and less damage. There's one. Cuz has one Stalker with 1 HP and 3 kills. Hero Stalker to the max.
Absolutely. Stalkers are very easy to micro against Marines, and this gold base is really proving to be a hassle for Cuz. He just doesn't know how to handle it. He's even expanding to the bottom location right now, and wow, this Terran army is moving out. I actually don't know. Does he even know where the Protoss base is? Yes, he does. I didn't remember
Mm.
the scout early on, so I was a little bit curious. Right now,
Yeah, he had
if
a bit
he
of a later
he
scout.
does have a sentry. If he splits that army in half, he could do a lot of damage to it. He is walking up the ramp, and oh, will he split it? Will he split it? He does split it in half. It's not
Nice.
the best split
Not
I've
the
ever
best split,
seen, but he is doing a good deal of damage, taking out those Marines. Once they go down, there won't be vision of the high ground anymore, and he'll be able to use those Stalkers more effectively. But he just sacrifices a Zealot for no reason at all, and now there's no sentry to wall off. The Marines doing a lot of damage to that Warp Gate. Marauders actually do even more damage, I think, than all those Marines put together. And one
Yeah.
Warp Gate goes down, and this is horrible for Cuz, because now he doesn't have the production to really keep up with the Terran player.
And Cuz is in a bit of a icky situation. Down in the economy, now down a warp gate, and TQ Wannabe still, his army just is continuing to grow.
Yeah, it's getting pretty big right now. 4 Marauders, and right now we do see the Immortal on the way for Cuz, and this is a good move, but it's really not dealing with the situation at hand. He has that gold base, and there's no way for the Protoss player to respond at this point, especially when you tech up. I really wanted to see him a really powerful all-in, exploit the fact that Terran is behind in tech and really can't keep up. But doing this whole Immortal build, there's just too many Marines in this ball. It's not a straight Marauder build, you know?
And now TQ Wannabe taking that second base. I love how he started in the right, and now he's got nothing there and is in the left.
Yep. He actually did take the bottom expansion, and he is mining from it right now. He does have that orbital up. Tossing down mules, I'm assuming, still at the gold, since mules at the gold get like, what, 600 minerals or something? I don't even know.
Yeah, it's just...
And oh, wow. TQ Wannabe is going to be able to sandwich the Protoss player into the base. If he gets a good surround. Oh, Stim is up right now. He's targeting down that Immortal. The Immortal falls before doing too much damage. He needs to keep microing back, pick off those Zealots, not take too many hits from the Stalkers. And wow, warping in more Zealots on the low ground. But these Stalkers are slowly being picked off, and as the Stalker numbers go down, it's going to be really hard to reproduce them.
And Cuz came out just a little bit ahead there, and TQ, no, he's still got those Marauders, so he'll be fine. That supply depot is...
Finally, the supply depot is burned down, and he does have that proxy piling up. He needs to do damage right now. And I'm not a fan of his waiting right now. Every minute he waits, it's a gold base versus a regular base. He doesn't even know about the expansion.
And he's not on an expansion of his own yet. So he's getting to that point in time where...
Warp Prism on the way. This is a very cool move. He's going to drop some Zealots in the main, force the Terran player back into his base, and he's going to move up with those Stalkers, maybe pick off a couple of units if he can. And not working out exactly as he wanted to. TQ lowers the supply depots, picks off the Zealots quickly, and those Stalkers are fair game now. Actually, that Zealot did a lot of damage to the mineral line, but most of the workers have already been transferred to that bottom expansion.
And it looks like TQ Wannabe's about to take his third. Now they're Immortal on the way. He really did. Cuz needed to do way more damage than he did, and he needs to expand now.
But I like that he got that at Warp Prism. Warp Prism is such an underutilized unit. I think that if he keeps it alive in in the long portions of the game, it'll become very useful. If he can like take an expansion, even, I don't know. He's not really attempting to do so. He is saving up about 400 minerals right now, but he did just warp in the Stalker.
Sending. Oh, no, he's just sending to scout. He's sending a probe out to scout, not to actually expand. And
the TQ trying to be a show-off, throwing out a factory to scout, seeing who is the better scouter, more show-offy at least. And 2 Immortals in this army mix. Immortals are so good against Marauders, so good.
Yeah, and now with more Marauders out than Marines, the Immortals will definitely be able to...
It's really tough for a Protoss player to deal with Marauders, because Zealots aren't exactly a counter to it, and then you need them to tank, so you need to really spend your minerals on those tanking units. And while you're doing that, you need to make sure that you can also tech efficiently and keep up on your supply, and when those minerals are being spent on Zealots, it's not quite as easy. And right now those Marauders ripped through the Protoss army. Yeah. Protoss is nothing right now. GG. And yeah, GG, game over. TQ wanted to be taking out Cuz in a decisive manner, taking out that gold base early on. And we're seeing a lot of really interesting builds come out of TQ. TQ wanna be. We wanna be him, man.
Yeah, he's definitely good. We've seen a bunch of different plays out of him today. Really, he's been really enjoyable to watch. But I mean, this is the this is the semifinals in the winner bracket. Oh no, this is quarterfinals.
Have the brackets been adjusted?
Yep. We're in the 3rd round.
Oh, very cool, very cool. And wow, whoever wins this is gonna actually go to the finals. The tournament's actually picking up really quickly, much faster than I thought it would. And wow, it's been a really cool final so far. We've seen Mass Ravens. We've seen gold base expansions. geez, TQ is refusing to let these games be boring, putting in a lot of interesting builds. And the thing about interesting builds is that they force your opponent to be on their toes. It forces them to make mistakes, and if you transition into something standard, it's hard for an opponent to really deal with that. And be prepared and practice it, especially in this tournament setting.
Yeah, and Cuz is actually high. He's ranked 6th Masters League.
Is he?
So they're both definitely very powerful players. So these games are good. Would not be surprised to see them both in the finals.
And it does look like we're going to play our next game on Dream Altar. A great ZVT map, PVT map. I don't know why I always start with Z for some reason. I don't even play Zerg, because Zerg is OP.
You say Z all the time because Zerg's the best race.
Because they're OP?
They're not. They're so far from OP.
They're so OP. They're like when they were originally creating the letters O and P, they were like, wow, Zerg is one day going to be this. And they are pretty OP.
Force fields. Force fields. That's all I got to say.
Larva injects.
Mules.
Larva injects. How many people can instantly produce armies of 200? You have to power up like a madman to do that.
It's the feeling of being able to macro up an entire 200 army by just pressing the 2 buttons of 4, S, and R and continuing to hold them down.
Yeah.
It's
balanced. Anyway, we are getting ready to go into Game 2 of Cuz vs TQ Wannabe. And, I'm pretty excited. I want to see what kind of build he's gonna pull out here.
And this is a big map, so
oh yeah, it's really tough because you can't really wall in. There's no like choke point. So two gate robos are much less frequent, and that is the build that TQ Wannabe essentially, rather Cuz essentially did. I guess he went 3 gate robo before he lost one of those gates.
and here it goes.
Yes, indeed. All right.
GSL's Tolerine Altar.
Yep. Here on Lose Fast TV, this is the CGSL on the GSL Tolerine Altar. This is the Cyber Gaming
StarCraft Leagues.
Yes.
Championship.
Nice. I was totally falling out there. I'm glad you called me. And right now, in the top right-hand corner, we have the green Protoss, Cuz. He's not your cousin. He's just the Cuz. In the top left-hand corner, you want to be him. TQ Wannabe, the Terran player. Protoss vs Terran on Dream Altar. And they are in the close-by air positions, even though they're not really that close by air. Just in general, Dream Altar is a huge, huge map. It's really hard to do those early timing pushes that a lot of players have been used to, and the Blizzard map pool is getting bigger and bigger lately. So I wonder if the game is going to evolve into more of a 3-base, 4-base kind of play instead of that whole 2-base timing aggression that we've seen in the first year of its release. And right now, both players are playing very standard right now. Cuz actually putting the pylon in the back of his base, a little bit weird, but I have seen this on this map. It's good for preventing drops in the later game.
This is definitely, I love this map a lot, and there's 16 expansions on this map, so let's hope to see a long macro game.
Oh yeah,
we haven't really seen a full macro game out of Wannabe yet. He usually finishes them within the first 10 to 12 minutes.
Well, Wannabe has such great control. It's really hard for a player to keep up with his micro. And his macro isn't that bad either. He always keeps up on his harvesters. You always see another SCV on the way, and that's probably the secret to his success. He is not only a micro-oriented player, he also has the macro to back it up. And he may demonstrate that for us this game.
Mm-hmm. Sending that both players, sending that scout out, right?
Yep.
Right now.